First and foremost, thank you, Richard and the Mercury team for working with us through this project. Very collaborative effort that's been sort of in motion for the last year or so. And I'm sure you guys all as dealers have a little bit of background of what we're doing and why we're here, but why don't we just go ahead and get into that. I have my fantastic moderator slash DJ, if you enjoy the music in the background provided by Ivan Sandoval. He's going to be helping me get through some of these slides. There you go. So you can show your face.
Thanks, Amar. Thanks, Amar.
Any questions?
Amar, it's the Amar show today. It's the Amar show today. I do the traffic, digital ads. Amar is the TAdvantage guy. So you're in good.
TAdvantage.
You're in good hands.
Well,
yeah.
most of the folks here might not even know the difference. So we'll have to explain what it is basically, and the difference between some of those brands that Ivan just mentioned: Traffic, TAdvantage, Trader. I'm sure a lot of people, perhaps everybody on this call, knows who Auto Trader is. You got a couple Trader logos on your screen right now. One on the top left, autotrader.ca, is the largest car marketplace and power sports marketplace and RV marketplace in the country, where, as we know, tons of consumers go, about 30 million a month, go to look for their new vehicle. So we service dealerships just like yourselves who are listing their inventory on that platform. The one below on the bottom corner, or the bottom right corner, is a little bit different. That's Trader Corp. And Trader Corp, of course, has a few different entities that I'll speak to. And we'll give you a bit of an overview on some of the specific ones. And the digital solutions, which is specifically what we're talking about here, and specifically the program that we developed for your Mercury inventory, is around TAdvantage, the website product. So Ivan, why don't we just get into it? And if you can hit me off with the next slide. So just a quick table of contents, guys. It's not going to take us a ton of time to get through all of the content, but background on our digital solutions. And again, we're talking about the digital solutions component here that we've built to support Mercury specifically. The proposal that we put together for Mercury Marine, proposal sounds a bit heavy. We don't have to use that term. I guess it's a package or a solution that we put together for Mercury Marine is the most important thing that we'll look at. We'll show you an example of what that actual website, because that's what it is. We'll show you what that website itself looks like. Here, we're calling it a microsite. We think it's a little bit more thorough than that, but we'll show you what that is. And then towards the end of it, we'll go through some of our optional stuff. We've got additional, bits and pieces that can go on top of your website solution. And of course, there is the marketplace business, which is the autotrader.ca listings, to make sure you guys get visibility. But we've packaged everything up specifically for this program and specifically for Mercury Canada to make sure that we have a lot of options for you guys. So just going into our background on our digital solutions. We've got a few different components to that. Ivan, if you can just hit me up with the next slide. One of them is our website platform. And just to give an overview of the website platform as a whole, we're Canada's leading and largest website provider in this industry. And there's a couple industries within it that we serve, but across all of it, it's 900 plus dealers. Passenger vehicle, PV, we call it internally over here. CNR, commercial and rec, is what we refer to it here. We've got dealers all across the board, as well as OEM franchises for automotive. Ford, Chrysler, General Motors, just to name a few, 3 out of the 7 OEM certifications that we have. And we service a whole bunch of dealer groups for all of their digital needs. We've got digital advertising via traffic. Now, what is digital advertising? In a whole, or in a nutshell, it is what drives more traffic and qualified buyers and visitors through search engine marketing, through display advertising, through paid social media advertising. Takes that traffic, makes sure they're qualified, drives them to your website. We know that when the website is set up the right way, it could be a generator for leads. And at the end of the day, that's all we're looking for. We're looking to achieve more leads across your dealership. We've got a leading team of experts in OSCs. We call them online strategy consultants. I just coined OSCs. That's our sort of internal acronym, of course. You'll hear me use maybe a couple acronyms here and there. Won't try and use too many. But with everything, we've got a full suite of products. And the OSCs, by the way, are here to support all of our dealerships who are actively doing business with us. got a website, don't know how to optimize it, or you have a website and you need additional creative, additional support, that's what the OSC is here to help you with. Got a full suite of products now under AutoSync, which is the digital solutions or the software side of our business. ActiveX CRM, Moto Commerce Digital Retailing, vAuto, which I'm sure a lot of you dealers have heard of, and Easy Deal. More recently, a few months ago, we've acquired that business. It's a desking solution to help you finish that deal and completely finish that transaction. So if anybody has any questions, of course, feel free to shoot them in the chat. I'm going to answer all the questions towards the end. Could be about anything specific to what we're talking about, anything you want to ask. But why don't we just get into it? So again, term proposal, maybe not really a proposal, sort of a package that we put together, but we did, of course, go to Mercury and we proposed the right solution. It's $195 a month per dealer. Now it's a microsite. It's a site that allows you to showcase your Mercury inventory on its own in a way that's totally compliant, totally filtered out the way that Mercury would want it to be filtered out, and gives a Mercury shopper a very unique experience. Now, a lot of dealerships may have existing websites to support your overall brand, and that's good. This really takes it to the next level where someone who is totally interested in a Mercury engine can go into this site and drill a little bit deeper. And of course, in building the website and thinking it through and developing it, we used a lot of the things that we know about websites through our TAdvantage platform to build this for you. So Ivan, if you can, I'd just go ahead and click on that link and we can pop it open. Now, just to give everybody a view of what this looks like, and we can start talking through some of the details. Imagine your dealer logo going on the top left. Naturally, where we put dealer logo is where it would go. In addition to that, we have a Mercury logo to represent the brand and give you some official Mercury branding on that site. Top right-hand side, you have a click to your location, and obviously showing your location is important. We want to get you foot traffic. We've got an open hours widget that shows you or shows the customer that the dealership is open right now, and it's open today from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. How you customize that is totally up to you, but you can filter through sales, parts, and service because you probably have different hours across all of them. To mention, this site is a completely responsive site out of the box. It's a responsive and mobile first site, so it's already built that way. You can shrink it down, you can shrink it up. The main thing is that no matter where someone is coming, and the majority of traffic now is starting to come through your phone, no matter where they're coming from, we want to give them an optimized experience. And that's what that's for. Ivan's going a little bit more technical here, and he's taking you through the inspection where you can actually see the source code. I don't know if anybody, show of hands, I'd love to see if anyone knows how to write code. If anybody does.
It's more to show what the mobile view would look like. So if somebody's accessing you on their mobile phone, forget about the right-hand side. It's just a way of sort of quickly showing, if somebody was on an iPhone 12 Pro, this is what it would look like. So showing the responsiveness of the website as well.
Yeah. So good to show that. And of course, having a mobile experience is extremely important. Also would love to get a show of hands on people who are users of Google Analytics to see what kind of traffic is coming to your sites. You'll definitely see that there is a lot of mobile traffic coming to the sites. So again, that point is the websites are built already with that in mind to adapt to all these different types of users that are going to come to your site. But if you scroll through the site, and of course, we'll share links with everybody after this webinar so that everybody has access to it to view on your own. But if you can scroll up a little bit more, Ivan, I think that's an important part, is that the content for Mercury, the outboard motors, and all of the content relative to Mercury product is already built out. It's already there. In the background of that main, we call this above the fold. In the background there, we put a really cool video. That's custom. You can go in and you can create or add whatever video that you'd want. But here you have your products. You have the Verado, and excuse me, I'm not super familiar with these. I get seasick when I get on boats. I'm not like the rest of you guys. But you got the Verado, you got the C Pro, the Pro XS, the 4-stroke. And of course, we want to be able to quickly categorize these people and have them go to that inventory, take a look at some more. Now, with the inventory, if you can click on one of those pages. Let's go to a page where we have some inventory. Guess it filtered down a little bit. A couple things I want to note here. It shows 2021. I know that perhaps we might not want to show a year. Might just want to have Mercury and the model number of that, and all the rest of the details. We can do that. There's just some custom configurations that we'd be able to do completely included, free of charge. We want to be able to show the dealer price. That's automatically fed through. The data feeds are already coming through so that we have access to this for the dealership. So we'll be able to set it up, no problem. But then if you look at the left-hand side, it's really important that the user is able to filter through really, really quickly, filter through payment, filter by payment, filter by price. And these are important components to have on any website. If it's an automotive website, and again, we applied a lot of our automotive sort of thinking into this, and our extensive relationships with a lot of C&R dealerships that are currently using this website platform for their entire RV business or their entire boat business or their rec business. But the filtering, and I guess this is where the magic happens. The intention of having a platform like this is to get someone deeper into finding the right product that they would be looking for. And again, that can happen on Google search, and then it could be driven down to this level. But when we get them here, we want to make sure that they've got all the information they need to see if you've got it, to contact you, whether they want to call you or they want to walk into your dealership because they have your address. But the idea is to create really quick view summary. And we call this specifically as a quick view VDP. No other website platforms in the country have this feature. It allows us, or the user rather, to immediately click on that and just take you deeper without having to go through every single piece of inventory. So tying it back to a really specific user experience, Ivan's out here, he's looking for the right motor. As he's looking for the motor, he doesn't have to go back and forth to filter down his actual selections or his options. He can just take a quick view and scroll right through all of the 15 units that would be relevant to him and that are available. When Ivan decides he wants to submit more information, check availability on that specific unit, he can easily do that, whether he's on his mobile device or whether he's on his desktop right there. A couple other features and widgets, you have the ability, or your customer will have the ability to print this page and get the detailed pricing. Important to note, you have control over the actual pricing and how it's displayed on the website. We know that a lot of dealers want to do that. You can apply for financing. You can disseminate whether that customer wants to have a trade or not by having the right option for them there, or of course, just book the viewing. We're finding that a lot of customers, today, especially now that everyone's more comfortable going back in person and things are somewhat back to normal, they're happy to get all the information they need throughout their research phase. And then boom, give me the address, give me the phone number, like let me go down to the dealership, talk to somebody and see it in person. And we would expect it to be the same here for all your Mercury inventory.
And Mark Alexander put in a question there about regarding the inventory. Obviously, this is just a demo site, and when we get to the phase of talking to you about the customizations and what you want to see on there, obviously everything is customizable in terms of how we label the CTAs, how we show the inventory, what kind of pricing and how that looks. There's discounts. Each dealer individually fits. We fit a model based on every individual marina or dealer's wants and needs, kind of.
Yeah, good point, Ivan. And Mark, good question. Customize it, and we can customize it. So engines, model name, etc. We work that out with every dealership. So that's the site. A little bit more on the site, some of the nuts and bolts that sort of come with it. You have a specials page. We want to be able to show specials and promotions that are currently active and on. Here's an example of it with some creative. Give a customer a bit of a wow factor. And of course, if you go towards, we call it the back of the site, but if you look towards the back of the site, you have complete control over your hours of operation, your staff, how a customer can get in touch with you. And those are sort of the basics and the fundamentals that we're offering. Now, this is pre-built, just requires a conversation with someone on our team. We'll definitely put up the contacts of us internally and how to get a demo going. But as you can see, very, very easy to understand and easy to digest product. Therefore, I think translates to the customer as well as being well understood. and definitely easy to walk through. So Ivan, if you want to go back to the deck there, and we'll look at some additional details. Just a design mock-up that we did for Boisville Marine, of course, an important customer of ours, and what it looks like for them. Really, we'll send these out, and we'll definitely have the demo site. I think Ivan's hovering over the text us and the live chat. That's of course a widget that's on the website that lets your customer immediately contact you and start a conversation that either you can manage on the other end or a third party manages until it becomes sort of a fostered lead that you can take over. Now let's talk about some of the optional website solutions, and I guess the optional website solutions and features. There's a lot that you can do, and we consider the website to be the foundation of it all. But there's, in addition to the traffic digital marketing that I'd highlight and put a big emphasis on as being sort of a lead driver. How do we get more people out there knowing about your brand specifically, and getting them, they're interested in a Mercury product or any product that you have, how do we get them to your site? But there's additional options other than just the digital marketing. There's local search optimization for Google My Business. Would love, again, I wish I could read the room and get a show of hands on that as well. Like who's managing their Google My Business? Of course, you got to manage it. That's where your reviews are stored. But local search optimization allows us to make sure that your Google My Business listing and your business is getting more visibility organically when people are on Google Maps, when people are on their mobile phone looking for a specific type of business that matches what you have. That's an optional functionality that we offer, as well as managing some of those components.
It's also the first sort of indication to somebody, when they first do a search on your marina or whatever it is. It's the first sort of instance they see of your branding. And so optimizing that Google business profile, that Google Maps listing you see when on the right hand side there with photos is really critical.
Yeah. The chat feature that we just talked about on the Mercury microsite that we just showed you is worth about $420 a month. Again, we'll send all these out to everybody. The primary URL. So if you decide, if you're on Marketplace, autotrader.ca listings, then your primary URL, which we normally charge $499 a month for, could be $280 a month if you're on Marketplace, and that's a package that we extended through this program. We also have search engine optimization for your dealer website. That's SEO for short, at $595 a month. It includes creating the content, blog content about your products. But the main thing is search engine optimization increases your brand reputation, especially on Google search engine, to make sure that you're going to get more organic traffic and that your advertising is definitely paying off. Creative services, $150 an hour, or there are unique creative service packages. There's so many different options that our creative team has put together, but that involves getting you like a really custom brand and a really custom look and feel across your website or your digital advertising solutions. And back to advertising solutions, this is under traffic, which we call it. That's our brand, that's our business, servicing about 600 customers across Canada in total. But that advertising solution is a solution built for every specific dealer, but it covers paid search, display, remarketing, retargeting, and it's always based on the dealership's budget and what we suggest that they could spend in their market based on what their goals are. Do we want more website traffic? Do we want more leads? Do we want people filling out all of our forms for Mercury engines? We want to sell them, we want to move them. And we all know in our business, it's all about the brand. It's all about the leads that we're driving for you. Creative services packages, we'll leave this with you guys, but there's a lot of different things that we can do for website creative services. We have a value package, we have a bronze package, and we have a silver package. Those are the price points as advertised. We put in sort of a unique or a special price point on the very, very far right column. And that is $450 a month, anywhere from $100 to $450 a month. My suggestion with this would be to definitely talk to Mark Alexander or someone from our CNR team or our digital team and we can build something out that's really, really unique for the dealer, as opposed to just looking at this grid, because there's a lot of different ways that we can sort of slice it when it comes to creative service packages. And last but not least, of course, we wanted to just chat a little bit about the marketplace features and some of the options that we do have. And as we know, autotrader.ca and autohebdo.net, if you're in the French market, provides used and new listings. And here's something to specify, is that all dealers who sign up for the Mercury Marine microsite will receive 50% off on trader.ca, hebdo.net marketplace listing packages. Again, might require a little bit of a consult from someone on our team to make sure you get the right suitable package for you. And also for l'EPAC in Quebec. So I know we're doing another French webinar for all the Quebec folks just after this. If it would apply to any of the audience members here, definitely please join that one. We can share the link, but this would be specific for that market, as we know l'EPAC is specific for the Quebec market for consumers to use, but it's the same deal, 50% off on the marketplace listings package through that avenue. All right, now before we get into some questions, I'm sure that some of you guys may have some. If there's anything we can dive deeper in or address, we wanted to drop some contacts and informations. Of course, this is me, Amar Soni. I'm the Director of Sales for Digital Products, covering traffic and TAdvantage, including this Mercury microsite. There's my contact information should anybody want to reach out. And we also have Mark Alexandre Piet, who's a lead strategy consultant, commercial and rec. And it's important to note that he's got a tenure of a lot of experience servicing specifically commercial recreation dealerships, and a ton of experience as a lead strategy consultant for our business, understanding websites, digital advertising, and marketing for sure. And that's it. That's all. 24 minutes on the hour. I knew we'd get through it pretty quickly. We'll be sending out some additional resources, including this content, this presentation, for everybody who has registered. So if you know someone who's registered and they couldn't make it, this is what they're going to get. But I see some additional questions going in the Q&A. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to pop them in the Q&A. And the one question that we did have was more internal from Mark Alexander. Just want to note regarding inventory, the websites need to be adapted based on how dealers add inventory, engines, for instance, model name, etc. This is something that's worked out with each dealer individually to fit their business model. Of course, we're just sort of reiterating that, but I think that's an important thing to note. The site as you see it is not the exact site that you could end up with. There could be some configurations and some customizations that happen based on what your needs are as a dealer.
It's like a 247. I don't know how old everyone is on the call, but we used to do boat, bike, and RV. Mark Alexander, I don't know if you remember that, Bike, Boat, and RV, that magazine, the Auto Trader magazine. So this is kind of like having a live listing of boat, bike, and RV at all times. Yeah, that goes back way back. I'm dating myself now. It's probably the white hair, but that was a fun times driving around to the boat places and getting advertising for those. And it used to be easy, just one page, 15 used boats or motors or whatever it was, and then you were gone. And now it's kind of a little bit more complicated, but not really, because there was a lot of manual work there that we used to do to take photos and things like this. And now it's basically a feed. You know what? It's the setup at first. Just once the setup is done, you're flying. And you let Google and the search engines take over. Obviously, there's ways you can boost out the exposure by search engine optimization, which is a longer term sort of strategy, or the search engine marketing, which is an immediate kind of strategy. But either way, anybody can find you online and able to see every single piece of inventory you have in stock with pricing and able to contact you. Yeah. So just, I guess waiting for some questions. I don't think we have any. If anybody has any questions, please feel free. Drop them in the Q&A. You got the both of us here to help answer it. But Ivan, in the meantime, why don't we go back to slide 5? I mean, we talked about so many different things, but I just want to highlight the main purpose
or the core of it.
This one.
Yeah, which is the actual site. So the site that we showed you, the cost of it, our TAdvantage website platform has a pretty wide offering, and we can pretty much adapt to any dealer. But from a price point, it typically does go anywhere from this price you see here, 195, all the way to 17.99 a month, or potentially more than 2,000 if you're involving digital retailing. Let's say for a franchise dealership, it can get up there. This price specifically was made for this program, and we wanted it to be, I guess, easy and valuable for the dealership to decide, yes, I definitely do want to go and have a subdomain or a separate URL to segment my Mercury inventory. And there's going to be a benefit and value from an SEO perspective for someone who is looking for that product in my market. And if anybody has any questions on how that works, because it's a lot as far as the customer journey goes, feel free to drop it in. Yeah, we're happy to share more if you want more of an independent consult or a one-on-one. Our team's here for you.
It's a really good price, 195. Like obviously we're in automotive, and the automotives are in the 1800s to, like you said, 2000 over 2000. So that's a really good price.
Yeah, it can get up there. We went live with Energy Power Sports on this program. I'm sure some of you may be familiar with that dealership. So we do have that program live, and they saw the value in it. And I think it was a very brief amount of time to get them up and running with this platform. And we want to make sure that dealers who do decide that this is what they want to do, and we encourage it, definitely get set up really quickly and effortlessly. So here you go. Of course, our team is always here to help. I don't see any additional questions. Oh, there you go. They're coming in. Yes, big important to note that the site is pre-qualified for co-op. So from a co-op perspective, Mercury co-op, the site is pre-qualified. Thank you for that. And yeah, any additional questions? Of course, you can always reach out to your Mercury rep. You can reach out to us. Happy to assist. If there are no additional questions, then we're glad you came. And thanks for joining us. And we could leave it at that. And we'll there's
That's the cue, Amar. That's the cue. Johnny Cash in the house.
Why not?